You might have glanced at your hand 1,000 times before, but one day it caught your eye. A soft curve, like a faint crescent moon etched in your skin, glowing in a subtle arc. It's not just a line. It's a cosmic signature, a seal of transformation, a quiet whisper from the universe itself. And if you've seen it, that means you're ready. Ready to step into a path far beyond the ordinary. The question is, are you willing to believe it? In ancient spiritual traditions, the palm has always been considered a map of the soul. Prophets, sages, and mystics have long read the lines in the hand to decode spiritual messages, energetic imprints, and future timelines. But the crescent moon is rare. And when it appears, it carries a frequency that can only be felt by those who are on a divine path. You are not just spiritual, you are chosen. You are aligned with higher intelligence. You are being activated. And in 2025, you'll begin to see why. The first thing that will happen to you is a sudden realization that your inner power is stronger than you ever imagined. You won't be the same person you were last year, last month, or even last week. You will feel your thoughts shifting from doubt to certainty, from confusion to clarity, from fear to purpose. You will begin to notice synchronicities daily -111, 222, 555, everywhere. Your dreams will become more vivid, your intuition razor sharp, and your energy will start attracting different people, different opportunities, and different outcomes. This transformation won't just be emotional or spiritual, it will be physical too. Your body may go through symptoms, pressure in your head, chills down your spine, or a warmth in your chest. These aren't signs of illness, they're signs of awakening. Your DNA is being upgraded to hold more light. Your chakras are aligning. Your vibration is rising. You're being prepared for something massive, something the world cannot see, but your soul already knows. You'll feel a pull toward things you never cared about before. Nature will seem more alive. Silence will become sacred. You may lose the desire for superficial conversations, entertainment, or distractions. Instead, you'll crave truth. You'll want to know who you really are, what your mission is, and what you're meant to do on earth. The crescent in your hand is not just a mark, it's a message. And that message is this: you were sent here to elevate, to heal, to lead. But as your light grows brighter, the shadows around you will become more noticeable. This is the second thing that will happen. People will start falling away from your life. Some friends will distance themselves. Family might not understand you. Your relationships may feel out of alignment. And you'll question, why now? But don't worry. Don't try to hold on. Because the people who can't come with you into 2025 weren't meant to. They were part of the old chapter. And this next one, it requires space. Why? Because you're being divinely repositioned. Your circle is being cleared for a reason. You're not just changing locations physically, you're shifting timelines spiritually. What you tolerate now will no longer match your frequency. You'll stop chasing validation. You'll stop shrinking to fit in. You'll realize your presence alone is powerful, and you don't need to explain your evolution to anyone. God is moving you in silence so that He can bless you in public. But here's the truth they never told you. When you're chosen, you're also tested. And the tests don't look like fire. They look like silence. They look like loneliness. They look like delays. But behind all of it is preparation. You've been asking for a breakthrough. But before God gives you that miracle, He shapes your character. He strips away anything that could sabotage your next level. Because 2025 isn't just a year of change. It's the year of alignment. It's the year where everything you've been waiting for finally starts to make sense. And it all begins with that crescent moon in your palm. So you've begun to notice the shifts. You've felt the internal transformation, the heightened awareness, and maybe even the strange isolation that often comes with spiritual elevation. That's no accident. The second thing that will happen to you in 2025 is divine redirection. Everything that isn't built for your highest good will begin to collapse. not as punishment, but as preparation. The universe, God, your angels, they are all repositioning you, and it won't always feel comfortable. Expect relationships to end abruptly, careers to shift unexpectedly, and familiar environments to suddenly feel foreign. Why? Because your energy has outgrown your current surroundings. You are no longer aligned with what used to fit, and the crescent moon etched in your palm is the quiet confirmation that the old has served its purpose. You're not losing, you're leveling up. Doors that were once locked are about to swing open, but only after the wrong ones close. Don't resist the endings. Don't mourn the people who ghost you, the jobs that pass you over, or the opportunities that fall through. Because 2025 will be a year of upgrades, not just in your mindset or energy, but in your physical reality. New partnerships, higher income, elevated platforms, powerful mentors. They're all on the way, but the universe can't give you what you're asking for if your hands are still holding the past. So let go. Clear space. Trust that what's gone was never meant to carry you forward. And that leads us into the third thing that will happen to you in 2025. You will be discovered. That may sound dramatic, but stay with me. You see, you've been hidden for a long time, hidden in plain sight. Maybe you've always felt unseen, overlooked, or underestimated, but that was by design. God kept you low-key so He could work on you in peace. He hid your brilliance until it was time for your light to shine without being stolen or dimmed by others. That time, it's now. You will be found by someone in 2025 who sees you clearly. This could be a person of influence, someone wealthy, someone with power, or simply someone whose presence accelerates your purpose. And they won't just see your potential, they'll see your preparation. You won't need to convince them of your worth. They'll feel it. They'll recognize your energy before you even speak. Because remember, when you're marked by God, your vibration speaks louder than your words. This person, this divine connection, will open doors that no degree, no resume, no networking event ever could. They're part of your soul contract. They were assigned to your path long before you met them. And when the moment arrives, it won't feel forced or fake. It will feel like alignment, like destiny finally catching up to you. But make no mistake, this kind of recognition doesn't come without responsibility. You'll be called to rise even higher, to walk with more integrity, and to speak your truth with boldness. You won't be able to hide anymore. And deep down, you won't want to. That's because the fourth thing that will happen to you in 2025 is spiritual activation. This goes beyond meditation or prayer. This is a divine ignition of your soul's full purpose. You'll wake up one day and feel different, more clear, more connected, more certain. You'll feel called to act, to create, to serve, to lead. This isn't the type of purpose that comes from logic. It comes from divine downloads. You may suddenly get an idea you can't shake. You may feel drawn to a city you've never visited, a person you've never met, a dream you thought was too big. Follow it. Don't overthink it. Don't dismiss it. Your soul knows what it's doing. That inner nudge, it's divine GPS. And in 2025, it's going to get louder than ever. This activation may also bring supernatural experiences. You might see repeated numbers more often, encounter animals with symbolic meaning, hear messages in music or dreams, or feel a physical presence around you, like angels watching, guiding, affirming. Don't be scared. You're not going crazy. You're being tuned in. And finally, the fifth thing that will happen to you in 2025 is divine reward. Yes, real, tangible, undeniable blessings. Not just peace or clarity, though those are priceless. I'm talking about financial overflow, unexpected wealth, opportunities you never even asked for, but always deserved. You've planted seeds in silence. You've cried when no one saw. You've kept going when you had every reason to quit. And now, heaven is responding. The crescent moon in your hand is a spiritual signature. It tells the angels, this one is ready. Ready for the harvest. ready for the release, ready to receive what was already written. You won't have to chase anymore. What's yours will begin to chase you. Money will come in unexpected ways, through people, ideas, promotions, contracts, and inheritance. But here's the key. You'll be able to hold it, because your mindset has shifted. You won't sabotage your blessings. You'll steward them, use them, multiply them, and you'll help others rise with you. You'll look back at 2024 and barely recognize the person you were, not because they were weak, but because they were preparing. And now, you've become who you were always meant to be. So if you've seen that crescent in your hand, smile, because you weren't imagining it. You were awakening. And 2025, it's your year to rise. You've made it to this moment not by accident, but by divine timing. You've been prepared in silence, molded in difficulty, and chosen in secret. And now that the divine doors are swinging open, you must understand the why behind all that's unfolding. Because 2025 isn't just a year of change, it's a year of confirmation. The signs have been around you, whispering in symbols, synchronicities, and sacred moments you almost dismissed. The crescent moon in your palm. That was just the beginning. In this next stage of your journey, your energy will precede your presence. People will begin to respond to you differently, not because you've changed something externally, but because the frequency you carry has shifted. There will be rooms you walk into that suddenly fall quiet, not because of intimidation, but because your spirit demands attention without saying a word. Your mere existence will feel like a message to the world. Something divine is happening here. This is the season of divine reversal. Every no from your past will begin to flip. Every closed door will either open or be replaced with something far greater. You're going to get apologies you never expected. You'll receive opportunities that bypass the usual protocols. You'll be remembered in rooms where you weren't even present. Why? Because you've moved from effort to energy, from chasing to attracting, from hoping to knowing. The crescent moon in your hand marked you for a destiny that couldn't be stopped, even by your own doubts. And let's be honest, there were moments you wanted to give up, moments where you questioned your worth, your purpose, your timing. But heaven didn't forget. And in 2025, the reward will reflect the weight of every unseen battle you've endured. Now listen closely, because this next part is crucial. You must act on the nudges. 2025 will be filled with divine instruction. You'll get sudden ideas, unexpected invitations, strong feelings that you need to move, call, write, build, or leave something behind. Don't ignore them. These nudges will come with urgency, and they are time-sensitive. Your future depends on your ability to respond quickly. Let's say you wake up one morning and feel like applying for something you had no intention of pursuing. Do it. If someone you haven't spoken to in years suddenly comes to mind, reach out. If you're pulled to revisit a dream you buried, dig it back up. These aren't coincidences. These are spiritual pings, like GPS rerouting you in real time to avoid what no longer serves your path. And when you do listen, you'll experience supernatural acceleration. What should have taken years will take months. What you thought you missed will boomerang back with interest. This is the favor that follows obedience. But there's something else, something deeper. In 2025, you're going to fall in love with your life again. Not just because things look better on the outside, but because something inside of you will feel more whole, more connected, more alive. Your mornings will start with peace, not panic. Your relationships will feel rooted in authenticity, not performance. Your choices will come from purpose, not pressure. For the first time in a long time, you won't feel like you're fighting life. You'll feel like you're flowing with it. This is your alignment era. And the crescent moon you noticed, that was heaven's way of saying, you're on track. You're on schedule, even if things felt delayed. You're not behind. You're being prepared for what would have overwhelmed you before. So take this to heart. You haven't missed it. The opportunity, the partner, the platform, the payout. It's still coming. And now you're actually ready for it. And you'll notice that people who once ignored you will try to come back. Those who mocked your vision will suddenly act interested. But be wise. Not everything that returns deserves a seat at your new table. This new season will demand discernment. You must protect your peace, your power, and your purpose like your life depends on it. Because in many ways, it does. Don't be surprised if your circle gets smaller in 2025. In fact, expect it. Because God is making space for those who can walk with you at the next level. Not just in title, but in spirit. The people you'll attract now are purpose partners. People who sharpen your faith, affirm your calling, and match your energy. They won't drain you, they'll build with you. And here's the beauty of it. Your light won't threaten them. It will inspire them. Because they've done the inner work too. So this year, as you look down at your hands and remember that symbol, that crescent, that quiet mark of something otherworldly, let it remind you, you were never ordinary. You were never meant to fit in. You were always meant to stand out, rise up, and lead in a way only you could. You're walking into divine fulfillment, not just of dreams, but of identity. You're remembering who you really are, a chosen vessel, a spiritual warrior, a divine seed blooming in divine timing. And 2025, that's your garden. Everything you prayed for, everything you cried over, everything you kept believing for, it's sprouting. Right now, you just have to keep watering it with faith, action, and gratitude. There's no turning back. The path ahead is lit. And you're finally ready to walk it with boldness. You've probably felt it lately. This strange combination of peace and pressure. Like something massive is about to break open, yet somehow, you're calm. That's not confusion. That's confirmation. You've aligned yourself so deeply with your divine path that your spirit knows what your eyes can't yet see. You're not anxious, you're expectant. And that feeling, that quiet certainty, it means you're in position. The fourth thing that will happen to you in 2025 is divine elevation through exposure. This is where your light can no longer be hidden. The spotlight that once felt far away will turn toward you, not because you begged for it, but because you became it. This is the moment where your preparation meets God's promotion. It won't make sense to others how you got where you are. They'll try to calculate it, copy it, or critique it, but they won't be able to recreate it, because it's not man-made, it's heaven-sent. This elevation won't come through conventional channels either. You won't have to compromise your values or pretend to be someone else. Your authenticity will be the exact reason you rise. People are starving for something real, and your story, your energy, your raw truth, it will be the answer someone's been praying for. You'll be shocked how fast things move once this exposure begins. Platforms will open. People of influence will start reaching out. You'll receive emails, messages, even chance encounters that seem random, but they were divinely orchestrated from the beginning. The same people who overlooked you last year will now want your attention. Not because you changed, but because your time finally arrived. And in these moments, you'll realize every delay was divine. Every no protected your destiny. Every closed door wasn't rejection. It was redirection. You'll look back on seasons of obscurity and say, "Thank you, God, for hiding me while you healed me." Because if you had been exposed too soon, you might have crumbled under the weight of your own success. But not now. Now, you're rooted. You're not rising for ego. You're rising for impact. And as you're elevated, watch how everything around you begins to shift. Old connections will fade out. New assignments will drop in. You may even be relocated, physically, spiritually, emotionally. The environments that once felt safe will feel too small, too dim, too out of alignment. You'll feel a pulling in your spirit to go higher, to dream bigger, to take bolder risks. That pulling is your calling getting louder. Don't ignore it, because what's waiting on the other side of your obedience is not just success, it's significance. You're not being elevated for clout. You're being elevated for divine responsibility. Your voice, your vision, your vibration will influence others in ways you can't yet imagine. But here's the warning. With elevation comes exposure, and with exposure comes testing. Not everyone celebrating your rise is pure. Some will come close just to study you. Some will applaud you publicly, but envy you privately. This is why you must stay grounded. Stay prayed up. Stay wise. Don't fall into the trap of performance. Remember what got you here. Your alignment, not your appearance. Your obedience, not your obsession with perfection. You don't have to be flawless to be favored. You just have to be faithful. And the crescent moon, it's still in your palm. A reminder that even in the spotlight, your strength comes from the shadows you've overcome. Never forget where you came from. Never forget the version of you who survived battles no one knew about. Because that version, that raw, resilient, truth-telling, heart-wide-open version, is the one God chose to elevate. And as this rise continues, you'll notice something else. Your influence will start to shift atmospheres. When you speak, people will listen. When you create, it'll spark inspiration. When you walk in purpose, it'll give others permission to do the same. You won't just be a name, you'll be a movement. But with great power comes the need for even greater integrity. Stay humble. Stay surrendered. Let God continue to lead the way. Because when heaven builds your platform, no man can take it away. This is not the time to shrink. It's the time to expand. You've already been validated in the spiritual realm. 2025 is simply the year the physical catches up. The spotlight is not for your glory, it's for His story, being told through you. Every breakthrough, every divine connection, every open door, it's proof that God is not just real. He's intentional. You were never forgotten. You were being formed. And now that you're ready, elevation is inevitable. So lift your head, chosen one. Walk boldly, speak truthfully, and love fearlessly. Because the world isn't just watching. They're awakening. And your rise is the signal that it's time. The fifth and final thing that will happen to you in 2025 is a miraculous alignment of everything you've been working toward. Your dreams, your desires, your destiny, all converging in perfect timing. And it will seem sudden to the world. But to you, it will feel like the final click of a lock you've been holding the key to your entire life. Let this sink in. Everything you've been through wasn't random. It was architectural. Every setback was a scaffold. Every heartbreak, a blueprint. Every moment of silence from heaven was not neglect. It was strategy. God has been building this next chapter quietly, brick by spiritual brick, preparing a place for you to thrive, not just survive. This alignment won't just be personal. It will be cosmic. You'll start noticing how things just start clicking into place without force. The person you needed to meet shows up unexpectedly. The opportunity you thought passed you by circles back in a better form. The idea you sat on for years suddenly becomes the thing everyone needs. This is no accident. This is what happens when heaven says, now. You may wake up one day in 2025 and feel it in your spirit before you see it with your eyes. A lightness, a clarity. Like the weight you didn't even know you were carrying has been lifted. That's when you'll know. Alignment has arrived. And when it does, you'll start living days that feel like prophecy fulfilled. Moments that were once prayers whispered in the dark will unfold in broad daylight. You'll feel like you're walking inside a divine promise. Because you are. In this season, you won't have to chase. You'll attract. You won't have to convince. You'll simply be. The right people, the right platforms, the right provisions. They'll come to you not because you manipulated the moment, but because you matched the frequency of your calling. You finally became the version of yourself that your destiny was always waiting on. But this final alignment will also call for courage. You'll be asked to leave things behind, not because they were bad, but because they were small. Your old routines, old fears, even some old friendships may not fit in this new space. Let them go with grace. You're not abandoning them. You're ascending. You'll also be asked to trust at a new level. You'll be positioned in rooms you didn't expect, given access to circles you never begged to join. But here's the beautiful twist. You'll realize you belong there. Not because of credentials, but because of calling. Not because of who you know, but because of who you've become. This is the season where your name will be mentioned in rooms you've never stepped into, where people you haven't even met yet are praying for someone just like you, where doors will open before you even knock. And when people ask how it happened, all you'll be able to say is, God did it. This final alignment will come with an undeniable sense of divine orchestration. You'll see God's fingerprints on everything. How He closed that door to save you, how He delayed that plan to grow you, how He isolated you to restore you. It will all make sense now. And the joy that follows won't be temporary. It will be transformational. Because this joy isn't just about external wins, it's about internal knowing. You'll know that you're exactly where you're supposed to be, doing exactly what you were created to do, with exactly the people meant to walk with you. And in that knowing comes peace. Not passive peace, but powerful, unshakable peace. The kind of peace that silences overthinking. The kind of peace that drowns out fear. The kind of peace that becomes your spiritual anchor no matter what waves try to crash against you. And in this final alignment, don't be surprised if miracles become normal. If divine timing becomes your daily reality. If what once seemed impossible becomes your new standard. That's the power of divine alignment. It shifts what you believe is realistic. So what should you do when it starts happening? Stay present. Don't rush it. Don't second guess it. Soak in every moment. Because the you that went through hell to get here deserves to enjoy the blessing. No guilt, no shame, no imposter syndrome, just gratitude. Let your life become a testimony. Let your journey light the path for others. Let your elevation be an invitation for someone else to believe again. Because 2025 is not just your breakthrough year, it's your becoming year. The year you embody everything heaven saw in you before the foundation of the world. The year you look in the mirror and say, I made it through. I didn't quit. I believed. I trusted. I transformed. This is the year the crescent moon in your palm stops being the symbol and starts being the signal. A signal to the universe, a signal to heaven, a signal to every soul connected to your purpose. That you're ready for the influence, ready for the increase, ready for the impact. So take a deep breath, chosen one. Stretch your hands wide and say it with faith. I receive it. I'm aligned. I am ready. Because 2025 is already written and the final chapter. It's glorious. Now that this message has found you, there's something I want you to understand. You didn't stumble on this video. You were guided to it. And if you're still watching, if your heart has been stirred, if your spirit feels like it's vibrating on a new frequency, you're not imagining it. That's confirmation. That's activation. That's your divine signal saying, yes, this is for you. Think back to the crescent moon in your hand. That wasn't just a poetic image. That was prophecy. A visual metaphor for destiny wrapped in mystery. A symbol that your life is no longer moving in circles. It's moving in divine cycles. You're not just surviving anymore. You're ascending. You're entering into alignment, power, clarity, favor, and yes, miraculous wealth. But don't let this just be another feel-good video that you forget in 10 minutes. Let this be the moment that changes everything. The pivot point. The place where you say, I'm not turning back. I'm done shrinking. I'm done doubting. I am chosen. I am anointed. I am aligned with heaven. You didn't make it through the chaos, confusion, and crushing seasons of your life just to return to mediocrity. You made it through because heaven has been preserving you for this very hour. And while others were running around chasing their calling, yours has been chasing you. It's been waiting for you to slow down, heal, release, and rise. And now, you have. This is what 2025 will mark for you, the year you finally own your light, The year you stop underestimating your value. The year you show up not just as a believer, but as a carrier of divine authority. When you walk into a room, the atmosphere will shift. Not because you're arrogant, but because you're authentic. You've been refined. You've been anointed. You've been chosen. So what comes next? Take bold steps. Say yes to the opportunities that scare you just a little. Start that project. Launch that idea. Make that move. Trust that if God gave you the vision, He's already made provision. You may not see the full path, but you'll be given the next step. And as you walk in obedience, the way will become clearer. Be ready for tests too, because elevation always attracts opposition. But the difference now, you're not the same person you were last year. You're not the same spirit you were 5 minutes ago. You're stronger, sharper, more aligned, and what used to break you will now build you. Surround yourself with people who speak your language. Faith, vision, purpose. Let go of those who can't celebrate your becoming. Their inability to see your light is not your responsibility. Your focus now is not convincing, but conquering. Remember, divine wealth isn't just about money. It's about overflow in every area. Relationships, purpose, clarity, joy, and legacy. What's coming to you is multidimensional. It's not just for you. It's for the people who are attached to your obedience. People you haven't even met yet will be blessed by your yes. So don't play small. Don't water yourself down to make others comfortable. Don't hide your gifts because others are intimidated. The crescent moon in your hand was a clue that you were born to illuminate the darkness. You are light in human form. And this year, you're about to shine so bright that even your past versions won't recognize you. So as we close, I want you to speak this out loud. I am walking into divine alignment. I am open to God's timing. I am ready to receive every blessing with boldness and gratitude. I will not shrink. I will not settle. I am chosen for this. Let this be your daily declaration. Let this become the soundtrack to your soul. And every time you look up at the night sky and see the moon, let it remind you, God has not forgotten you. In fact, He's just getting started. Now that you've heard this powerful message, I want to hear from you. If this stirred your spirit and you're ready to receive everything God has for you, drop a comment below and write, I receive it. I'm ready for overflow. Declare it boldly. Your words carry power. If this video inspired or confirmed something in your soul, hit that like button. It helps us reach more chosen ones like you. And if you know someone who needs this message right now, share it with them. Be the light in someone else's life today. For more messages like this, click the videos on the end screen and continue this journey with me. We're rising together, and your breakthrough is closer than you think. Keep walking in faith, stay in alignment, and never forget, you were chosen for such a time as this.